Today, I continue my midseason rankings for the 2026 NFL Draft. I did the offensive trenches yesterday, so today we jump to the defensive line, defensive interior specifically. I'm going to give you my top 10 in this sucker, but of course, stick around to the end because I'm going to go over some honorable mentions. With that being said, number 10, Batin Ibero-Agba out of Wake Forest, coming in at 6'3", 296 pounds. I have a third round projection on him. He has been having a wonderful year. 10 defensive stops, 3 sacks, a win rate of 17.1%. Very good for a defensive interior. And he was a 0-star recruit coming out of the 2022 recruiting class and starts his career at Georgetown. Became a big part of the rotation his first 2 years there, decides to transfer to Wake Forest. A redshirt his first year. So right now he is a redshirt junior with the option to come back. But if you're looking for a 3-tech penetrator, a guy that just wants to disrupt, that's Mateen here. He is explosive and twitchy to get out all hell. I don't even know if that's a saying, but he's a twitched up monster with exceptional lateral ability. He has the quickness to make plays from sideline to sideline. The initial first step creates almost immediate disruption and penetration. He's very effective on stunts as a looper. He's just got good closing speed as well. Keeps his feet moving during engagement. I'm a sucker for leg drive. I don't care what position you play, but if you keep the legs moving, you're my type of guy. Also, first and foremost, sub 300. So, okay, play strength. I think it's adequate for his size, but he does get redirected in the run game. I don't really see a lot of pop in his hands. He does occasionally get demolished by double teams, but he has this knee drop technique, which I know in most cases it's kind of a last resort for defensive linemen, but I've seen him use it a couple of times to not just kind of like hold the gap and or create piles, but to actually wedge himself between the double team and get a little bit of disruption. Again, kind of not the end, not what you want to go for your first resort, but I saw that a couple of times and it was effective and I thought it was cool. He does rely on his athleticism to win. No crap. Probably should. I would like to see more counters during engagement. There are times where he does get a little too upright, gives up leverage, but man, he has probably been one of the most productive interiors as far as a pass rusher this year in college football. Coming in at number 9, it's Tim Keenan III out of Alabama. He's 6'2", 313 pounds, and a bit of an asterisk here. This is just me simply keeping a guy where he's at because I want to see more. He started the year with a high ankle sprain, and he's only played the last 4 games for Alabama where he's been fine against the run, just haven't really seen much as a pass rusher. 1.7% pass rush win rate's pretty awful, but I don't know how much the high ankle sprain that caused him to miss time is playing into that. So I kind of want to wait and see how he does in the second half of the season and even the offseason draft process. So ultimately, I decided not to move him. But if you are unfamiliar with him, he's a former 4-star recruit from the 2021 recruiting class. Didn't really play his first 2 years at Alabama, and he's been, for the most part, a full-time starter since 2023. He's got a thick frame with good natural leverage, just keeps him balanced. Surprising lateral quicks, gives him good pursuit ability in run defense. He's able to survive cut blocks with quicks and a stout lower body. I love the hand placement. We've seen a variety of pass rush moves from him. Like he's got a good club swim move, and he's powerful. He's big. He's powerful. He can generate pressure, disruption with or movement with powerful hands. And he's shown very good work ethic over the course of his career. It could be coming back from this high ankle sprain or managing his weight, because he arrived at Tuscaloosa at 380 pounds, and Part of that, I think he was coming off injury in high school. He had an MCL injury. So he's shown discipline. He's shown work ethic. I just kind of think he's playing hurt or he's trying to get healthy right now. A few of the negatives, blockers do get in his pads with relative ease, probably because he's got mediocre to maybe subpar length. Not consistently explosive. I'm not saying he takes reps off, but I imagine he gets tired moving that quick and being that big. So there are some reps where it's like, okay, he maybe looks a little gassed. Can be neutralized by double teams, but there are a few cases of him defeating double teams. But again, I want to see the season play out before I actually substantially move Tim Keenan. We love the NFL draft, and now my draft guide is available for purchase. It comes with over 500 player backgrounds and close to 300 player evals. It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So when I add a new eval or I change my rankings, you're going to be the first to know. It's going to have all the pro day and combine numbers along with analytics, and it's a Google spreadsheet for right now. So you have to include your email with the purchase, but we will be switching over to a website at the end of the year. And if you get it now, it's going to be cheaper now than it will be later. It's a great way to support the channel. And as always, much appreciated, much obliged. Coming in at number 8, it's Aaron Graves out of Iowa. He's 6'4", 300 pounds. I have a 3rd round grade on him currently. And he's a former 4-star recruit from the 2022 recruiting class. He played both offensive and defensive line in high school, but he also played a lot of different sports. He played basketball, where he is the high school's all-time leading scorer. He wrestled, where he finished, I think, 4th in state, both his senior and junior year. And then he did track and field, where he holds the school record in the shot put. He is a high school legend. He is. But goes to Iowa and becomes a big part of the rotation after his freshman season in 2024. He won the team's Hustle Award. And I've seen a good improvement with Aaron Graves. If you look at, for one, him adding pass rush moves. I wouldn't necessarily say he added a great deal to his repertoire, but he's become more effective. Last year, a 9.9% pass rush win rate. This year, that number's up to 14.9. Missed tackles. He's so much cleaner tackling in space. Is it perfect? No, not always, but he took a 16.7% missed tackle rate and dropped that sucker to 5.3. So I love it. Won't be the most explosive athlete. There are times where the bull rush does peter out, but you're getting a guy who's a former wrestler. People love that. He's got pop in his hands. He's got good body control, gets good leverage, good hand placement. He's got nice pop in those hands. He plays with some suddenness and some violence. He's got very loose and light footwork. He was voted a team captain. He's got a lot of special teams experience on punt coverage and the field goal unit. So he feels like just an exceptionally high floor player. The question is, how much greater is that ceiling when it comes to Aaron Graves? At number 7, it's Darrell Jackson Jr. out of Florida State. He's 6'5", 341 pounds. He's a big boy. I mean, that's just an insane combination of height, weight, and length. But currently, I have a 3rd round grade on him, and I was actually a little higher on him entering the year. But that I feel like that's because we haven't really seen any growth to his game. If you don't know, now you know. He was made Bruce Feldman's Freaks List in 2024. He can squat over 600 pounds. He can bench over 400 pounds. He's stupid strong, but he's also fleet of foot. Like his feet actually move pretty well considering his size. However, when it comes to the pass rush game plan, it's simply, I'm just going to mow you down. I'm big and I'm strong. And when blockers can figure that out, then it's like, okay, you need to bring more to the table. Last year, it worked out well for him. 13.9% pass rush win rate. This year, 3.6%. So don't love it, is what it is. He is a guy that you can use on stunts just because how quick his feet are. He has a ton of special teams experience when it comes to the field goal unit and the punt block unit. He's tall, so he's going to struggle with leverage. That's just going to be a thing. But ultimately, at the end of the day, why I probably moved him down a little bit compared to some of the other prospects is because he simply just runs too hot and too cold, and he's just not put together as a pass rusher, or at least he's not grown as a pass rusher like I hope he would. But still, when it comes to the physical traits, they're absolutely a mwah. Before I jump to number 6, got to give a shout out to our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Grab your phone, download the app. When you sign up, it's promo code BROSHMO, and they match that first deposit up to $1,000 dues if you like weekly best ball. If you like higher or lower on player stats, then go ahead and check out Underdog Fantasy. They have promos each and every day. NBA just tipped off. The World Series is about to kick off. Speaking of kickoff, if you love college football and the NFL, then Underdog has everything just for you. But as always, please play responsibly, play within your means. If you do download the app, it's promo code BROSHMO. Let's get into number 6. And that is Caleb Banks out of Florida. He's 6'6", 334 pounds. I have a midday 2 grade on him, and this might piss some people off because his tape last year was really fun down the stretch. It really, really good. However, this year, he suffered a foot injury in fall camp, caused him to miss the first 2 games this year, and then he re-aggravated that foot against LSU and hasn't played a snap since. So it's kind of an unfortunate turn of events here. He's also one of the older prospects. He's going to be 24, entering his rookie season. So to me, I think there's some stuff working against him. On top of that, I don't necessarily love him as a run defender. I mean, if you're looking for a run disruptor, he can be that, but I don't get this sense that he's going to have discipline in the run game to hold gaps and take up space. He wants to get back there and cause some havoc. But that's why we love him so much. That's why everyone loves this cat so much. You go back to that 2024 film, and between the frame, the length, the get off, he is explosive. He looks like he is 30 pounds lighter than what he is with his get off, and he's got a devastating push-pull move, a devastating club rip. He's relentless with the hands, and he actually gets good leverage despite being 6'6". However, older, currently hurt. That's going to need to be checked out in the off season. Not sold on him being able to keep run integrity. That's why I just simply boosted other guys up above him. But hey, if you love him, I get it. At number 5, get your glasses out because here comes the orange juice. It's Big Citrus, Dominic Orange out of Iowa State. He's 6'2", 328 pounds. I have a top 50 grade on him. He has been an integral part of Iowa State's defensive line since he stepped foot on campus in 2022. He made Bruce Feldman's Freaks list this past year because of how powerful he is. And I mean, at that size, you best be powerful. And he has got legit big boy strength. He could ragdoll blockers with relative ease. He's got a stout anchor. He is just a tough man to move. But he's also pretty twitched up at that size. Like, he just plays with a rare sense of suddenness and urgency. I mean, that's probably why he's got an 8% pass rush win rate, which that's a good number for a defensive interior player. Typically, you probably want that number to be around 8 to 10% if you're going to think about this guy in probably the first 2 rounds. But with Orange, while I'm not saying he's the most explosive guy in the world, I mean, for goodness sake, he's still 328 pounds. And there are times where his pass rushes do kind of peter out because, well, it's not really built on strategy. It's built on strength and power. And I'm just going to try to move you. He will struggle to disengage when blockers can play around his power He needs better ways of defeating double teams, which he sees a lot of double teams at Iowa State. They're really just a 3-man front. And when he does get disruption, sometimes he overshoots too deep into the backfield, leaving lanes open. But I mean, this was a dude at 328 pounds making plays on screens and in the quick game. That's just kind of ludicrous. Him to be able to read that, see that, screens and sweens, and go out there and to be able to make a play. I'm going to talk about a guy actually coming up next here that is just ridiculous to see a man this big move that fast, make a play in the passing game. I get it. It's a behind the line of scrimmage type pass, but still to see that, recognize that, and being able to be quick enough to make a play on that, I think is still impressive. At number 4 is Amari Washington out of Oregon. He's 6'3", 338 pounds, a former 5-star recruit out of the 2023 recruiting class, and everything's starting to click now for him. He made Bruce Feldman's Freaks list for his just insane combination of power and size and speed and explosiveness. I mean, looking at some of the numbers Oregon has recorded for him, it's insane, and the tape checks out. So he's recorded to have a 36-inch vert, 755-pound squat, 475-pound bench. He was clocked at going 21 miles per hour while on the field, and that's at 338 pounds. That's just insane. So yeah, the thing that like just jumps out at you from the film is the get off, the twitchiness, the speed for a man his size. He's able to split gaps and be that penetrator. He's a gifted enough athlete. I mentioned it with Big Citrus. I think it was the Penn State game where Amari Washington, he's coming in on essentially it's a screenplay. So he's got like a free path to the quarterback, notices it's a screenplay, gets in between the quarterback and the running back, and he's able to get up and I think the ball just got over him, but he almost batted the ball down. It was utterly nuts. But let's not forget, he's big and he's strong. He's powerful. He's heavy-handed. He plays with active hands. He plays with just a great sense of intensity. And what I like is, and I'm not saying he's a polished product by any means, but when he's not trying to penetrate and disrupt in the run game, he can hold his own, keep the strike zone clean, look into the backfield, and then block shit, go make a play. He's got the lateral ability to go make plays along the sidelines. However, right now he is still a guy that is leaning on his physical and his athletic gifts as a pass rusher. He needs to continue to add more arrows to his quiver. He needs to add more moves to his toolbox, his arsenal. There are times where he wants to be a playmaker, and it has led to him getting a little too upfield, opening up holes for the ball carrier. I think late in games, the pad level is inconsistent. Maybe is that a gas issue? We'll see. But we've seen a lot of improvement. I do want to see him improve as a tackler. A lot of arm tackle attempts out in space over the course of his career. 25% missed tackle rate. Want to see that cleaned up. But in terms of traits, Washington has him out of the wazoo. At number 3, it's Caden McDonald at Ohio State. He's 6'3", 326 pounds. Another guy that I have a top 50 grade on. And if Amari Washington is your high ceiling player, Caden McDonald is more of your high floor player. He's very reminiscent of his teammate Talik Williams, who went in the first round last draft. And what I mean by that is Caden McDonald, he's big, he's thick, he's strong, he's got a dense build that he just plays with good low pads. He's consistently winning the leverage game. He's got some pop on contact. There's some power in his punches. He controls the point of attack. Great grip, strong grip, able to really redirect and then disengage at will to impact rushing lanes. He is kind of an elite run defender in this class, just like his teammate Talik Williams. I think there's a little bit more quickness to McDonald's game than there was for Williams. He's shown a couple of nice moves outside of the bull rush. You got a swim move, a club move that he pairs up with a variety of different other moves. There's a solid spin in there that he uses to work himself back towards the play. But he does have some of the similar issues that Talik Williams had coming out. McDonald needs to add more to his pass rush arsenal, though. 7.7% pass rush win rate. Not half bad for a guy who, how many snaps did he have last year? 216. So honestly, not bad for a guy that we're really getting to see in a full-time role for the first time. When it comes to double teams, he just eats space. I really haven't seen him find ways to defeat double teams. With the pad level that he plays with, I think he should be able to use that leverage to be able to split a double team. Maybe you could throw a knee drop in there. The first step can be inconsistent. I don't think it's a lack of explosiveness. I think it's a timing issue with him, but this is his first year as kind of a full-time starter. But McDonald, hella good. At number 2, it's Christian Miller out of Georgia. He's 6'4", 305 pounds, another guy with a top 50 grade. And coming into the year, he was my interior too. And a lot of the things that I liked about Walter Nolan last draft cycle, I liked about Christian Miller. I don't think he's taken the step, at least in terms of production, that Walter Nolan did last year. And that's why I'm hesitant on giving him just a flat out first round grade. But Miller, man, he's got such an explosive first step, a rangy athlete with very good closing speed at his size, very sudden, has the movement skills to cross the face of blockers, good length, quick hands. And it's not just him being a gap shooter. Like, he has the play strength and the balance to sit in gaps. He's at Georgia. You have to be a sound run defender. Well, you used to be, but he is a sound run defender, plays with a hot motor, plays hard each and every snap, and has played everywhere along that defensive line for Georgia. I just really needed the breakout year to push him up higher on my board, and we haven't really gotten that. He hasn't even had a sack this year. He only has 2 sacks in his collegiate career. The pass rush game plan, it's coming together, and I think it has improved, but there's still times occasionally I feel like he plays too upright with just high pads. The hand placement is still a little inconsistent, and little special teams experience to him. But I'm holding out hope, maybe, because I think he's really turned it on the last few games, and I'm holding out hope that maybe that production or that effort on the film starts to turn into a little bit more production for him. And then coming in at number 1, it's Peter Woods out of Clemson, because of course it is. He's 6'3", 315 pounds. I got a top 10 grade on him. He's a former 5-star recruit from the 2023 recruiting class, and he entered the year with big expectations, along with that whole Clemson team. And it's safe to say, well, Clemson and company, they've kind of fallen short of expectations. And you could look at Peter Woods' stat profile or his analytics, and you probably feel, yeah, he's been a little disappointed this year as well. But then you go turn on the tape and it's like, oh no, this is still a rare speed and quicks and fluidity for a guy that's 315 pounds. He still has that power to cave in the chests of blockers. He's light on his feet. He's strong as all get out. He still plays with a full tank and brings that same type of urgency each and every play. So why aren't we seeing it more in the stat column? And when you turn on tape, there's a lot of almost plays. There's a ton where he wreaks havoc. He creates disruption, but he is just outside of the reach of the quarterback or the ball carrier. And I think some of that has to do with average arm length. Like, oh man, if I was only an inch or 2 longer, phrasing, I know, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that, but if I was only a little longer, I would have made this play. There's a lot of almost plays on his tape, and I don't know how much you can really fault him for that. He's in position to go and make that play. If you were to look just at the analytics, it would say he has cleaned up his missed tackle problem. And this was a thing last summer where I was like, I don't think I've really ever seen this with a player where not one missed tackle was the same. And it's not like, oh, okay, well, he just consistently slips off tackles. No. It was like, okay, well, he came in hot and slipped off this tackle. He went for an arm tackle, didn't really work out. Oh, he squared up, and maybe because of his average length, he wasn't able to fully wrap up. There was like singular issues here and there that kind of led to what was it last year, 16.7% missed tackle rate. I still think some of that's there. But currently, he has an 8.7% missed tackle rate. I'm just saying it wouldn't shock me if that number was higher by the end of the year. Just throwing that out there. He's a team captain. He's on track to play the most snaps in his career. He has multiple games this year with over 50 snaps. There's still a lot to like, a lot to love. He's still used in a very versatile manner where he can line up anywhere along that defensive line for Clemson. But I want to throw this out there, and this won't be really something we'll know until either the combine or the draft. He does have a history of leg injuries. I just don't know how severe. Like, you go to his sophomore year in high school, and I know we're going a long ways back. 8 missed games with a leg injury. Last year, he missed some time with a leg injury. He had the head injury too, but I don't think the head injury resulted in him missing time. So that's just something I want you to put in the back of your head. Again, this is a guy that's playing the most snaps in his career this season. Could be a big nothing burger, but maybe something to just keep a watch out for around combine time. But let's go ahead, get into some of these honorable mentions. Just missing the list is Bear Alexander out of Oregon, formerly of USC. And a lot of that is probably going to be the character stuff because he's playing great. He's playing pretty phenomenal. He's finally playing up to his ability. But again, it goes back to the meme where he posts a picture of him visiting Penn State jersey, flexing, Georgia logo, tattoo. And he's doing this while he has the USC profile pic. So it's like, and how he left USC might leave some bad tastes in coaches' mouths, where it's like, okay, well, you weren't getting the playtime you thought, and you just took your ball and not even went home, but went somewhere else, decided to redshirt. So a lot of that, I think, will iron itself out during the offseason draft process when he has interviews, because the talent's there. It is there. Lee Hunter. I'm a sucker for Lee Hunter at Texas Tech. I think he's been hella stinking good this season, but it's much of the same. Like, I had an early day 3 grade on him coming into the year, and I don't think there's much that's changed in terms of my opinion of him. There's his teammate. Got to talk about his teammate, Skylar Gill-Howard, who he's 6 foot, 291 pounds, so very undersized, short with a light frame, going to be very role specific in the NFL or role dependent. I think, unfortunately, was it a season-ending injury he just had? Skylar Gill-Howard injury. Is he out for the year? Yeah, he's to miss the whole season with I don't see specifics on the injury. Oh, it was a lower leg injury. Okay. I don't know what that means in terms of his offseason draft process, but he's a guy that's got a lot working against him out, but his production, his motor are like second to none. He's been phenomenal this year. So like, for me, he's worth a flyer taking a shot on somewhere on day 3. A lot of people like Dante Corleone, not necessarily my cup of tea. He's 6 foot, 331 pounds. So kind of a bowling ball or squatty potty type of build. I think he plays with intensity. It's just, I think it's a bit all over the place here and there. And I look at him and I'm like, yeah, I'd rather take him early mid day 3 I don't really see a day 2 player there. Some people are going to disagree with that, but it is what it is, man. It's fine. It's fine. I just feel like he's a bit of a bull in a china shop. I like David Gusta from Kentucky quite a bit. Wide body defender with a good combination of power and quicks. I'm kind of curious if he ends up being more of a guy you throw on passing downs, because I think there's a bit of, and again, it depends on what Kentucky's asking him to do, but I feel like he freelances here and there and might be a guy that doesn't necessarily always keep run contained. But again, it kind of depends on what Kentucky was asking him to do there, and that might not be even a worry when it comes to Gusta. Then there's Xavier Harris out of Ole Miss. His tape's good, man, but there's massive questions around his character because of prior arrests. I mean, we could get into real quick, but he was arrested for driving under the influence and felony fleeing. It was thought that he was going to be kicked from the team. Coming into this year, he had a domestic violence and obstruction charge. And again, I mean, a lot of this stuff was dropped. So a lot of this is going to be ironed out in interviews. Unfortunately, people like me and you don't have the luxury of being in on those interviews. So again, there's always two sides to the story, but what he brings as a prospect is a massive towering frame, long arms, solid get off, nimble feet, but he is more high-waisted and plays with a high pad level and such. But someone that's probably gonna be a third rounder for most people. I have him early day 3. But yeah, there's a couple of guys I have returning. David Oki out of Arkansas. If he's got another year of eligibility, why not bring it back? He was a sleeper for a lot of people as a potential top 50 pick coming into the year. Let's see it in the SEC for another year. Matter of fact, I think his snap totals are relatively low. They may have been working it up the last couple of weeks. No, they've just been low. He's only played in 3 games thus far this season. So yeah, hopefully there's more to come back to school. Jaheim Otis out of Colorado, formerly of Alabama. He hasn't really seen the snap totals. I think this year he hasn't really been all that efficient. Just pulling it up real quick, because I don't have the snap totals on me. Oh, I misspelled his name. Son of a gun, dude. Can't be mad. My name's hard to spell too. My last name is, at least. Yeah, his snap totals just haven't been there. He's been more of a rotation player this season at Colorado. So just wait another year and become part of the actual rotation and whatnot. There's a lot of guys that I still want to get to that I haven't. I've heard good things about CJ Fight out of Arizona. I think that's how you say his name. The analytics aren't great with him, but enough people seem to be high on him that I'm intrigued to dip into his tape. There's Chris McClellan, who I really liked for Missouri. I liked his game against Alabama, so I want to get in, dig deep into him, but I just haven't had the chance to sit down, watch him do an eval. Tyreek Tucker at Indiana is one of my favorite players. I haven't wrote an eval on him, but geez, he's just constantly making a play whenever I watch him. He's got the fun dance. He's just a guy I'm rooting for. So there's a couple of guys I still need to watch. I don't know if there's really anyone else I want to throw out and mention here, but I guess that's it for the video. We're going to start this sucker back up next week with more positional rankings. It's a great time to be alive. Let me know your opinions in the comment section below, because that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing, become a bro and subscribe. I should have probably asked earlier, but hey, 'tis what it is. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later. Bang, bang.